Hello everybody and welcome on into another custom LEGO Marvel set review on my channel. Today we are checking out my 3 brand new LEGO Marvel Phase 3 sets. Of course, making sure to stick with my theme that I've been doing through this past year. And this did prove to be a bit harder as we do have more LEGO Phase 3 sets than we do Phase 1 and Phase 2. But without further ado, let's get on straight into the first set, starting off with the minifigures. And for the first figure here we have Veers, also known as Captain Marvel. However, in this particular scene of the set, she was known as Veers. I haven't made any changes to the figure that came out in 2019 as I think it's pretty much perfect. The only other thing that is different though is I did give her the bandage piece in translucent orange as a substitute for the power blast piece, as it really her hands glow and she doesn't really create any energy blasts per so in this scene especially. So for that I gave her the bandage piece, also just because Mecha Bricks doesn't have the power blast pieces. For our second figure we have Jan Rog, the mentor to Captain Marvel in the Captain Marvel movie, of course. And if you guys do remember, I made this figure last year for my advent calendar. And for him I didn't really make any changes. I gave him a different gun, however in the same teal color there, which I think looks perfect, as well as I gave him the same face print and the same torso print. I think he turned out perfect. He also has the receding hairline piece in that reddish brown, which I think fits perfect. And the last 2 minifigures in this set are the 2 Skrull soldiers. They have the same face print from 2019 as I think it works perfect. However, I did give them a brand new, I guess, helmet slash hair mold there, which is really just the ears, which I tried to make in Mecha Bricks. However, it didn't really translate well, but that's as best as we're gonna get. And to differ them up, I gave them 2 different weapons, one with a battle axe there with the translucent purple highlights there, and another with a pulse ray gun. I also gave them a brand new torso print, which I think looks really good. And here are all the figures lined up. But now let's get on straight into the build, which is pretty simple, and it is just this really basic cave work, as well as there's a little catapult off to the side, which I think turned out really good. Zooming on into the catapult here, it uses a pretty basic build there. Of course, around it are a bunch of slopes and angles just to give it that rocky design, and it uses a pretty simple mechanic that's been used for years and years in LEGO. Of course, there is space for one minifigure to get launched, and to launch it, you just flick the other end of it. Here is what the backside of all that rock work looks like. Of course, you can see all the angles and hidden little rocks all about the build there. I used a base of dark tan with some dark gray, light gray, and some light tan. And of course, here you have the action scene. Of course, with all minifigures on display there, there's a little spot to put a Skrull right behind all that rock work there, as well as you can see one of them being launched by the catapult right there. For the build, I used a base of that dark orangey brown, as I think it replicates the planet that they're on at the first scene of the movie really well, and I think the set turned out really good. But of course, the set wouldn't be finished without some box art. So here you guys have it, set 76921, the Skrull Ambush. This set comes with 192 pieces and comes with 4 minifigures, and I think this turned out amazing. But of course, if you guys do know, these sets keep getting bigger, so make sure you guys stay till the end. But of course, now getting into the minifigures for our next set, the first one, we of course have Doctor Strange. And if you guys did realize, there isn't much different about this version of him. This version of Doctor Strange comes with the same face, torso, and leg printing from his version from the most recent years. However, I did give him a brand new hairpiece in black, which is a bit more messier than the ones that he usually comes with, which are a bit more clean cut. Of course, as an accessory, I also gave him a chain piece in glittery transparent orange, as well as his magic dish pieces in the same color, as I think just the regular transparent orange doesn't do enough justice for the magic pieces. For our next minifigure is another figure I included in my advent calendar from last year, which I think is really cool for me to be able to add all these Easter eggs in. Of course, that minifigure is Caecilius, coming here with the same printing from when I did make him, as I think it works really perfectly. He of course has the bun hair piece in that light gray, as well as the brand new face print, torso print, and leg printing with the arms being dual molded, as well as him coming with these tooth dagger pieces and transparent glitter. The next 2 minifigures in this set also come with the same accessory as Caecilius. Of course, these are his zealots here, coming with a brand new torso print, just with different variation, as one has sleeves and one doesn't. I also gave them two different hair pieces. One is the slick back in dark brown, and the other is a pony, not really a ponytail, but a bun in that black color. For their torso designs, I took massive inspiration off of the Jedi robes, as I think that is what best replicates their kind of design there, and that's why it does look a little bit like a Jedi robe. They also come with just some regular dark red legs there, as well as I gave him the Jango Fett angry face, as well as a generic Star Wars clone trooper or stormtrooper face there. And here are all the minifigures lined up. But now let's get on straight into the build, which is one of my favorite builds that I've ever made. And of course, this is the hallway scene from Doctor Strange, which I think turned out perfectly. I took massive inspiration off of the Tantive 4 hallway diorama scene that came out earlier this year, and kind of tried to make it into my own style with the Doctor Strange quarter, of course, of the Sanctum. Placed all throughout the build, there are a couple chairs over to the right, as well as a table with two golden chalices in the back in front of a bulletin board, which you can of course place minifigures on. Of course, on the wall there, you also have a few lights there and places to put your minifigures like they're bouncing off the walls, like in the actual scene. And of course, interchange where you want to place them as well. Over on the left, you have an option to flick your minifigures back and forth, similar to in the Tantive hallway scene, as well as there is a little sliding mechanism in the middle to make it seem like Doctor Strange is running in place, which I thought was a really cool play feature to add. And finally, all the way at the end, you have a Doctor Strange portal, of course, replicating the one that he goes through to escape these Zealots and Caecilius. Of course, also flipping it around to the back, we have the exterior of the Sanctum, which I took massive inspiration off of the actual modular Sanctum that I have upstairs in my house. This is a crazy little thing that I wanted to add in, as I think it'd be really cool to display them next to each other. You of course have the railing outside of it, as well as the set of windows on the outside, which on the inside it is some black bars. And of course here you have the action scene with all of them. I think this is probably one of the best action scenes I've made for a set, as it does take inspiration off of the other hallway scenes that we've gotten, but it just looks so clean and all the colors contrast really well. And of course the set wouldn't be complete without the box art, so here you guys have it, set 76922, the Sanctum Showdown. Honestly, one of the best box art I think I've ever made, and it just looks so good with all the additional info on it. The set comes with 461 pieces, which I think is fair for what you get in this set, and it just looks amazing in my opinion. But now for the final set, starting of course off again with the figures. And starting off with the first one, here we have Ant-Man, and no updates were made to this character, I'm going to be honest. It is the same basic Ant-Man figure we have been getting, but that is because it is so good, and there wasn't really any needed changes there. Of course, he does come with the face print underneath, which has been the one that he's been using forever, as well as he comes with the bedhead hairpiece in black. Up next, I also had to include his significant other, of course, that is the Wasp, coming again with the same torso print that she came with back in 2019, as I don't really think there is any fixes to it. However, I did give her a brand new helmet print right there, which of course is the one made by Adam Lego Arts. His link will be down below in the description, as well as I gave her some fairy wings in a translucent dark clear, I guess. Included also is the face underneath there, which is the basic one that we've been getting with her for years, as well as a hairpiece, which is the ponytail hairpiece in reddish brown. Up next is another character I knew I had to include, and one we've been waiting so desperately for so long for in LEGO. This of course is Luis, and he came out perfectly, coming with a brand new face print as well as torso print with that jacket, which I think looks really good. I took lots of inspiration off of multiple jacket pieces in LEGO, as well as undershirts there, as well as took some inspiration off of the Luis figure from Ashen Flash's set of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And now moving on into the villains of the set, here we have Sonny Birch, and I think he turned out perfectly. Another minifigure I drew back in the day, one of the first ones that I actually drew, and he turned out perfectly, and I think my replication of him into a now minifigure form turned out perfectly. I gave him a base of dark tan, as well as gave him a brand new torso print with the open jacket showing his colorful tie and his blue shirt underneath. I gave him a pre-existing Lego Star Wars face print there, as well as gave him the receding hairline piece in that dark brown, which I think replicates him perfectly. And for the final minifigure in the set, we have Ghost, another pre-existing minifigure that I didn't really make any changes for, instead of adding a brand new hood piece there, which is the Lloyd hood piece, as it does have the hair. However, realistically it would just be the regular hood piece that doesn't have the hair attachment there. I kept the same face print and torso print, as I think it works amazing and it still holds up to this day, as well as gave her a extra hair piece there for her alternate face expression there, showing her unmasked face. And here are all the minifigures lined up. But now let's get on straight into the build, which is actually made of a couple builds, starting off with the villains. And for the villains vehicles, I made sure to include Sonny Birch's SUV, coming in that amazing clean white color there with all the headlights and all that, as well as the gold accent on the front there. This is the same SUV build as Nick Fury's from my last wave, as I think they relatively look pretty much the same, and I also just hate building cars in general, so this set was kind of a struggle for me. As well as a extra build, I included the bike that Ghost hijacks in this scene from the movie. And of course you can pop the top off of the car there to fit one minifigure inside, that of course being Sonny Birch. And now moving into the final build, which of course is the tech van that Luis, Ant-Man, and the Wasp all take turns driving in this car chase scene at the end of the movie. And I think the van looks really, really good. I made sure to include what looks like the large solar panels on the top, as well as the railings on the side of the van at the top there. There's space for one minifigure to sit on the inside, as shown with Luis being able to slip in there, as well as the back does open, and if you can see right there in the bottom left, a little Hello Kitty dispenser there as a nod to, of course, when the Wasp throws the Hello Kitty dispenser and it enlarges by the little disc that she throws. And of course here you have the action scene. Now in this action scene we fit every minifigure, though you can't really see half of them. Of course there's Ghost and the Wasp on the bike and flying in the sky there, and Sonny Birch is in his car. Luis is driving the van and Ant-Man is in the back of the van, as yes, you can fit a minifigure in the back. And of course the set wouldn't be complete without its final box art, so here you guys have it. It says 76923 Chase for the lab. Of course there you have the streets of San Francisco with all the cars there on display there, with the Wasp flying in the air to pursue Ghost, who is trying to steal the lab from the van. The set comes with 566 pieces and is the final set in my Phase 3 wave. But there you guys have it. That is every set in my LEGO Marvel Phase 3 custom set video. If you guys did go on to enjoy the video, please make sure to subscribe and like the video, as it shows me what you guys like to see, as well as it pushes me out to more people who may also enjoy my content. Guys, this has been such an amazing summer with so many packed, full, amazing videos I was able to put out for you guys, so I thank you guys for everything you guys have done for me, and I wish you the best rest of your summer. Thank you.